Hello, everyone, and welcome to Loriander. This is the show after the show of Coriander Society. We are going to do a little talk back with the members of our cast. If you have any questions, please be sure to post them in chat so that way we can get to them. Let's start by checking in with everyone. Abhora, how are you? And how was this episode for you?
I'm conscious and ready to die.
Do you want to die?
No, it wouldn't be on the top of my priorities. I enjoy playing with you guys, and it would have broken my heart to be kind of shoved off this mortal coil, but I did find that it was kind of a cop-out that you wouldn't just eat my brain. Bombay. I feel like that was a little out of character for a cruel being such as yourself. You're a little merciful, which was very disappointing.
I'm a little softy because also, you're not my target.
Ooh.
It just doesn't seem like you would waste.
You. There's no point in killing you when I can still use you as bait. If you're dead, you're dead.
True, but
then you're even more useless.
Yeah, but true. But you found out that I wasn't useful as bait. So at that point, you could have eaten my brain.
But
honestly,
technically, it looks like you might be useful as bait. This could be the Ulithrid's plan all along. They have an intelligence far beyond what a mortal might be able to conceive. And they believe that even though one of our party might not have been interested in rescuing you, that doesn't mean they could have even possibly been lying. Who knows?
Yeah, like I would see that as a minor setback. It's a minor setback at most. Like, you might still have some potential. Although little, it's still something.
Really? You think so?
Also, I just don't want to eat a stupid brain. Let's just call it that. Like, just because I eat brains doesn't mean I don't have taste. I need Mensa. I need Stephen Hawking. Give me some of that yum, some gray matter. Don't give me. I need wrinkles in the brain. I don't want a flat
folds. You want those folds?
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, smooth brain, no pain.
Smooth brain, go down easy.
Smooth brain, like sashimi.
Oh my god. Okay, I need a graphic whipped up. This is gonna be like a graphic tee. Smooth brain like
sashimi. Yeah.
It's like a sushi restaurant.
And then on the back it just goes down smooth.
It's just sushi for lithids, and it's just like you pick your fish.
Okay.
Brain, just like Ma used to make.
Let's check in with Bombay. How are you, personal life, and also in the show?
I'm good. I'm so excited. We're doing a really fun thing later this week. Do they know?
I don't think I've gone into detail, like, at all.
Okay, so I mean, there's something really cool happening with some people. I'm very excited later this week. So just prepping for that. So I'm very. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast or this video, because you'll hear about this eventually, hopefully in a month. So yeah, we're just building up hype. So I'm very gung ho. Yeah.
Pre-announced the announcement.
Yes, we're announcing the announcement. And I'm really glad I stuck around to play this game. It was really fun. There's
Me too.
God. I'm also I tried talking to you and you said no. I was
so like the whole time Bombay's like, man, I haven't had a chance to interact with Janessa at all. And here I am like, here's a door, here's I'm giving you a lead, here's an opportunity for your characters to interact. And this thing is just
yeah, I didn't think you were gonna hang up.
No.
That is true. Yeah. Well,
I was just trying to be like, okay, Asena did not get along with Captain Flib in the very beginning, so I felt like she would have reacted that way, but you didn't have insight to that. So I did not expect you to hang up, so I'm sorry about that, but it was very funny.
Like Arnold's on a time deadline, like the clock's ticking, he does not.
Okay, bye.
All right, this isn't going anywhere. Click.
I feel like Arungal's like at the end of their rope, and it's like I can't suffer fools today. I absolutely need a break.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, Arangal is in the position of the telemarketer, and you've never had a telemarketer be like,
Yes.
"Are you interested in a timeshare?" And then they go, "No." It's like,
No.
all right, well,
Fuck you.
But it's a
All
numbers
right.
game, right? It's a numbers game. You just got to immediately know if this is going anywhere, and if not, we've been trying to reach you about your Spelljammer's extended warranty.
Yeah. Also, Asena is very new to phones, so you don't really know how she's gonna respond.
That was a mental contact, though. She's used to
What
that.
yeah.
what is
That's
mental
true. That
contact?
was-
But like a phone you don't hold on to, you know?
Talk to
Yeah.
me.
Asena's not one to be like, okay, who is this? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she would just respond
Yellow.
with the first thought.
Yeah, between her and Captain Flig, there's just like no.
I feel like Asena was just like, I am the one who knocks. Don't come at me like that.
I will
What's
call
really
you.
funny-
You don't call me.
What's really funny about that is like I think it backfired because now we found out that Captain Flig was abducted, and we're able to use that to trace that over to him. So that wasn't a great thing for Erangel to do.
Yeah, no, you got
Yeah,
nothing.
We're still in the intros. Let's finish our intro.
That's true. Yes.
It was a good episode, okay?
It's
It was a
just
good
happening
episode.
organically,
Episode.
okay? Okay, Matt, do you feel left out?
We're back
It's
on
your
the run of
turn.
show, Matt.
Hey, hold on a moment here. I'm just trying to keep things moving. I'm good. Personal life's going well. D&D life's going pretty well, except, gosh, I feel like we're both we're on the precipice of victory and defeat. And we're in this weird place where, anyways, we're not talking about the episode. It's crazy. There's some shit going on, and we've only got one more episode to wrap it all up, and I'm really excited. I wish we had more time, but I'm really glad to be here with this cast because it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll get into it more in the episode. Let's touch in with Joe. How are you? And
We're already
how's
like
the
halfway
game?
through the run of the episode, though.
I know.
I'm
We're
good.
gonna have to change this format.
You know what? It happens. I'm good. I'm gonna go do secret stuff with Amora and Bombay later this week, which everyone else is gonna find out about soon. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be, yeah.
So are you not teasing it today? What's going on? You keep this the
We're
third time.
I already
teasing
figured
the
it out.
teasing of it. All right.
You're going somewhere physically?
Yes.
Ah!
Dice
That's
will
so
be
cool.
involved. hmm
Real
This will be
dice.
involved.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Or we could not be.
And how about you,
Yeah, or-
Janessa?
Mhm.
What are you doing here?
Thank you for asking, because I was just gonna ask myself.
I know
It was
you
gonna be
were.
like a weird, like, hello, I'm great.
That's called being a dungeon master. You get used to it.
I am good. My tiny house still does not have AC, so that sucks. Yeah, the builders ran the wrong wire through the house. So the wire doesn't match up to like the size. So we need an adapter, which apparently is either hard to be found or needs to be made. So yeah, maybe by 2 weeks I'll be in there, but maybe not.
2 weeks.
I know. It'll be okay though.
You have to send us a picture. I've loved looking at small tiny houses. They're so cool.
Oh
like a
yeah,
child's
I
pop-up.
will.
You're gonna do a video tour on social, right? Like you're gonna have a TikTok tour or something.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like weigh it. Like, do I really want to do this tour? But like, do I show everyone the layout of my house?
That part.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it. Like, fuck it, whatever. If someone wants to come get
Out
me,
of the 555, don't kill me Avenue.
yeah. I
I'm too.
live in a very rural spot. If you're gonna come stalk me, like, it's gonna take a lot of effort. I don't think Emma's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's jump into the episode. Let's start where a surprising moment was when Arengol surprises Captain Flig at the dark market, stuns everyone, and captures the captain. We were not even here for this.
No, we got breaks.
Well, hey, you guys want to take a
Small
break? You go ahead. Don't worry about it. This is gonna be action scene. It's gonna take a little time. Just grab a drink, whatever.
It took 5 minutes.
Okay, so I don't have a question. So why don't you guys just talk about what you thought about that and what was fun?
Wow,
Well,
great.
Well, for me, I was stunned.
Okay,
Oh,
so wait, how
I
did
have a
it
thing for that.
happen? They just like touched you, or like?
No.
I was busy stealing anything that wasn't tied down, and all of a sudden, an octopus walked in and mind blasted the lot of us. I didn't even have time to turn around, but my faithful companion Glebnor jumped into action, defending the rest of us. How noble!
And he did.
He failed, but he tried.
Yeah.
He's not too good.
He got a couple of punches in though.
Yeah. And then it was easy. Like I was like, I just got get in, get one of them, and get out. That was the plan.
So your plan was just any of them, and then you ended up with the captain.
Yeah, like I needed someone who had connections to the party, and he was, for some reason, like, I mean, y'all separated for a reason. I just was like, okay, this is my time. I got onto my bike, I guess my speeder bike, and this elephant just was like, let's go. You're not gonna get an opportunity like that again. And yeah, that's what I did.
Pretty brutal, but we did see you spare the captain in a little bit, even though you did jam a tentacle down his mouth. I think that was a really nice, like, not killing him, but still being really terrifying.
Yeah.
No, that was that was kinky.
I think we all had that thing in our brain. I've seen enough, to know where this is going.
I think that was just you, Matt.
Was it just me? Okay, well.
The thing is, like, jumping in real fast though, I always appreciate it when players think of the other players before this. Like, yeah, sometimes it breaks immersion, which I think Bombay had plenty of reasons to not just eat your brain, which are tactical and explicable, but also it would suck for you to just, get eaten halfway through, and then that would suck. If you're gonna die, you die in the last 30 minutes of the series.
Of the last episode. We still have one more.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not, I'm not suicidal or anything. I just think for good storytelling, you have to kill a couple characters, is all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kill that whoever that person was that raged and took 2 swipes at me is dead.
Well, that is gonna lead to some vengeance, buddy.
What? Sounds
That's
like a
true.
new problem.
I may not have been too fond of Glebnor, but god damn it, he was my first mate.
I do have to give it to Apora for all of the tentacle puns and insults that you threw out.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
Till I ran out. I was like, when you were asking me who my partners were, I was like, oh, what's a fast food chain that has octopus? Huh. No, there's no Kentucky Fried Chicken for
That's
octopus.
not a thing.
I can't be like,
It's Long John Silver's.
Silver's I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
my partners are Kentucky Fried Chicken and Long John Silver's, you bitch.
That's so good. Honestly, Bombay, you're restraint because I might have killed him.
When you started
so
calling,
close.
when you started calling me a bore, I thought I went like kind of over the line. I thought
No. It's just hard for me to remember everyone's character names.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, Captain. I'll just go with Captain. I'm like, there are 2 captains. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, no. If it, not at all.
If,
Okay,
if,
like-
if
when
I
you were
ever
gone,
do,
we started calling you Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
I
I
think
I
Ipora
did say
did.
that.
Yeah.
I did say that. Well, the good thing about this character is that it allows me to be at the top of my intelligence because the intelligence is not that high. So that's a very low bar to clear.
yeah.
You have freedom. You have the freedom to do literally whatever you want.
It is freeing, but I do wish that I had put a little bit more strategy and a little bit more research into this character like Bombay has. I really feel like after being blindsided and just completely spanked, I wish that I had at least given up somewhat of a fight. And I do like watching the cat and mouse of John and Arugula just go.
Arugula. To give you some credit, like he is ridiculously overpowered. Like the things he gets to do is just like, very OP. Which I mean, which is credit to everyone else that you're actually keeping up. Which is very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, maybe in this next episode, we'll see what Captain Flib can do with the help of John to get out, or we'll see. I think that setup's really interesting. For now, let's transition to talking about. I can't say their names. What are these demons called?
Yuck,
That, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call them the demons.
So
That's fine.
Yuck, lol, like yuck, laugh out loud. Yuck, lol.
Yuck, lol.
Lol, yuck, lol.
Lol.
Lol,
I actually sent Matt like a DM the other night, like, oh, those drow twins, they're so cute. And then he's like, you know that they're sludge, right? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
I remember I went on Forgotten Realms, grabbed the picture, sent it to you, and you were like, ew.
Ew, those are gross.
You know, fun fact about the yuck law. I didn't know how to pronounce that either when I was first reading years and years and years ago. Just it will be funny, I promise. Quick aside, I was reading the Dritz books, and whenever I came across the yuck law, I always called them Yakult, like that little drink that you have, the little
Yakult.
Yeah, I always called them Yakult or whatever. I was always like, oh yeah, that little like probiotic drink. Every single time they came up, I always
my
had that in my
gosh.
head. And so when you said Yuck Law, mate, I was like, that's right, they're not Yakult. Oh no.
As a dungeon master, I do not advise that you drink shots of demon goo.
No, that'll be bad. Very, very bad.
Matt, can you
Hmm.
explain what's going on with those demons? I mean, I think Asana actually thought that they liked her. But then they went off to just go betray us, and
Well, okay, so here's the thing about demons. Demons don't like anybody. And these ones, particularly the ones that they love, are their queen of chaos. That was their whole fiber of being, is just to serve this one entity. And so they're going to take every single chance they can to get as much information as they can and screw everybody over. Honestly, out of everybody, we've got every single one of our group trying to get as much information about the other group as possible. The only ones really working the shadow game are the actual demons of the queen of spiders. They're working alongside the mothers. They're working alongside the chitons. They're working alongside Asana. They're working alongside the drow and their people. They're working alongside the Illithid advisor. Like, they're playing every single game. The machinations of law. They're being brought to fruition by their handmaidens and are doing everything they can to sow as much chaos as possible. So they're going to wheel and deal, make every single word that they have, they're going to use in order to try to get some kind of advantage. And the crazy thing about them is that they're able to use their powers in the mind to know the intentions of every single creature that they interact with. So unless you come into an interaction with them completely capable of shutting yourself off from that kind of invasion, you're just another puzzle piece on the board for them. And it's just amazing to see those kind of creatures play out, because we don't normally get to see all the sides that we get to. That's one of the beauties about how we're doing our show, is that by having an adversary, we not only get to see what the DM shows us by who we interact with, but by who we aren't interacting with and what's happening there. So I think we can see really all of these bad guys that end up having these crazy schemes and strategies that we only ever get to see half of, if that. We can see that coming to play a lot more, which is really, really engaging. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Maybe that's something that the show can do. Like maybe we can take a look back at some episodes and just ask Joe, like, what was happening?
Okay, that's
Might
fun.
be
That's a good
little-
idea.
Yeah, good little segment.
I just don't know how
Um,
often I'll have to say I'll never tell.
Right? Like you don't want to give up your secrets.
Well, World War II was happening in the background.
It kind of is, though. In one of the worlds they came from, it's not World War II, but it's basically World War II. It kind of is.
But mate, real quick, before we move on, let me ask you about that before we move away from that. Do you every time, half the time, whatever? I know that as a GM, I try to play by the rules as much as possible. But there's some times that, especially if the players have no way of being able to figure out how you could get to that point, do you ever take the quick route of just saying that happens? Yes, there is a feasible way in this world that could come to pass. Are you going to painstakingly figure out every single interaction, conversation that's going to lead to that point? Or do you just say, I have a creature with this power, or these people are in play, they would interact, I'm just going to move on and say, yes, it happened? Or do you actually play all this out in the background?
Well, I don't always go into Roll20 during my off hours and like roll persuasion checks against every single creature and all the combats and stuff against the creatures. Most of the time I abstract it when needed. I just try to think logically in my head, which of these two factions has the advantage? What do they want? What are their motivations? What would logically happen? If it happens off screen, it doesn't usually get fully rendered in the graphic engine because that takes too much RAM.
Fair enough. Okay, so this next question is for Joe. Early on in the episode, Matt offered John's warding seal in exchange for 2 of Bombay's inspiration. Is that even a thing that we're allowed to do?
Yes, because it's great. The moment Matt said that, I was like, that is so great. Because you're at, like, first off, players can exchange inspiration. Like, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to give you 5 and now you can hold on to 5. But when there's something going on and they're like, I want this to be successful, I'm going to give you some of my inspiration for this moment. That's a totally normal thing. And players can say, hey, Dungeon Master, I want to do this ridiculous thing or retcon this detail. What is it going to take? And I'll be like, give me 3 inspiration. That's all. You're asking for a lot. Give me 3 inspiration. We can make that happen. So if there's somebody playing on the opposite side of the field, why not do the same? I thought it was brilliant.
And Matt, how did you think of that?
So I like to play up 20s and 1s. I think that's one of the best things about Dungeons and Dragons is when you roll a 1, something usually terrible happens. And when you roll a 20, something amazing happens. Usually good. Thinking back to that natural 1, and we already had it set up where it kind of bungled our whole sleep thing. When when Bombay was saying that they wanted to go in there and try and find something, what could we have on us? I think it's kind of it'd be a bummer for them to go, oh, well, yeah, we don't really have anything of use, or we're not really carrying anything nice. And as I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, what kind of bone could I throw them? Because we want to make an exciting story. We want something cool to happen. What's a cool breadcrumb that can be had? And the only because I could just say, oh yeah, John left this thing out of his bag or whatever. But I'm like, feasibly, there's no logical way why this really intelligent creature would just fumble that in this moment. We already had the natural 1 go off. So I thought, okay, what could I do? There was a seal there. What if John just forgot in the haste of what was happening to pick up his seal? That would have been a cool thing for Arangol to find. But that's a huge part of John's kit. That would be a massive a reduction of power. So that's why I said, rather than just going, okay, you find that, did the whole cool offer. And plus for me, whenever you do, I've learned from running my other game, Curse of Tamarind, whenever you get to try and wheel and deal someone inspiration, it's a cool thing that either you get from chat just granting it for you, or that you get as a cool thing for the GM saying, that was a really amazing, cool thing you did. I'm granting you inspiration for that. It's really precious. And so when you say, I'm going to give you something good, but in return, you have to give me this precious resource. It's so rare and can affect the game in such a huge way. So I thought the chat would just eat that up, and it would be such a cool moment, whether no matter what, just by proposing it, it's going to be good. Because if Bombay says yes, then now John's missing a resource, and oh my gosh, that can be a cool thing for Arangol to follow up on. But if Arangol says no, now I get to bring that up in the future and go, look at this one thing that you could have had that could have saved you, and now it's going to screw you over. No matter how that plays out, it's going to be good. And all it
And it
costs
did
is
come
just,
back to
Yeah.
haunt him, which was awesome. I think
An
you should have made the
episode.
deal because, like, that's a really
I-
cool seal. But
I would have, but it only works on like fiends and like a specific type of creature.
You are an
And-
aberration.
I was like, you happen to be an aberration.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
man,
not so
that's-
much that it's useful to you; it's
Yeah.
that John doesn't have it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Plus, unless you
Um,
actually know how to use angelic seals, you wouldn't be able to use it, period. But you'd be taking it away from John. That was the gimme. One of John's nopes goes away. Because that's the whole thing. Is John that strong? He doesn't have a lot of hit points. He's got a pretty decent amount of armor class, and he's got a lot of spells. But outside of all his note buttons, if you pin him down, he's a mortal with a brain, and you happen to eat brains. So every note that's gotten... Honestly, John's like a legendary creature. As long as you can get rid of his legendary resistances and stuff,
Then he's in
just
trouble.
a human. He's just a guy. Yeah.
Okay, we are running out of time in this episode, but I still want to talk about the moment where John and Asena realize that they can call Captain Flig, because that was an amazing moment.
It was so good.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's a question here.
I was so like I a couple of times, if you watch the VOD, I'm doing the yeah thing because I was waiting for you to do the find my phone button just to get the geolocation on it. Like, yeah, Gaston could do that, but you could probably pull that off, like the find my phone thing with your techno magic.
Yeah,
And I thought about that, but I didn't want to cheat because when I realized we didn't give them a phone, I was like, we didn't actually do that. And it would have been really crappy. Huh?
With the earpiece, I think so. A phone would have given you, if it was a phone, you would have gotten like the exact location. With an earpiece, though, I think you would have at least gotten like a direction and a distance. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I felt like we were already doing so many like gimmies throughout this episode that I didn't want to like do another.
I
big
appreciate
ask.
that. I appreciate
Well,
that.
don't worry because I did it. Yeah, I definitely said that part about Gaston to sort of like spark the idea, which was really fun. Okay. Some housekeeping. We will not have an episode of this show next week, but we are going to have something which is hosted by Matt, or is it by Bombay?
Bombay
Not
immediately like vanishes.
I know.
Because of
dips
the cutting
out.
in and out. So,
Yeah.
situation with that, Bombay's internet keeps cutting in and out. So I'll just go ahead and do a no sell here for her. We are all busy working on the secret thing we're working on right now. So more details will be forthcoming later. But the current plan is to do a thing next week, which will be fun. And Bombay's cooking.
That's
So
exciting.
we will have a thing during this time slot next week. It will not be part of the campaign, but still some fun things planned. And then we will have our finale on September 19th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And Joe, can you give us a recap of this episode?
Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, what happened? So in episode 4 of Shadow of the Spider Moon, what's the exact order of operations? John and Asena met with the Yoklo maidens and the 3 Choldrith mothers, and the Yoklo revealed that they were ready to overthrow the entire power structure of the city simply to please Lolth, the spider god. They were able to find out John's identity through their ability to detect thoughts. Arengal, the Ulitharid, contacted them at the exact same time. Now the Yoklo maidens know all the different pieces, and they're using all of them, communicating with everybody, betraying everybody's secrets in order to throw the city into chaos. John and Asena led an army of the Kaitine into the city, causing a massive riot and an enormous battle that is tearing through. Meanwhile, Captain Flig made a deal with Guildmaster Flitch and took 2 Shadowblade assassins up to the market in order to use the secret phrase given to Captain Flig by Arengal in a dream previously. Upon receiving the secret message, Arengal realized that Captain Flig was alone and showed up in person, burst through the door, used a mind blast to subdue everyone, captured the captain, and brought them back for interrogation. Arengol now knows the location of the secret stash of technology, but wasn't able to get anything more useful. And upon contacting Asena to threaten them with the captive Captain Flig, who is now on board a spell-jamming ship, which Arengol has been loading with supplies, ready for some unknown mission or destination this entire time. But, as I said, when threatened with Captain Flig's fate, Asena responded flippantly. John and Asena have infiltrated the palace, and they're preparing to strike when they found out that Arengol isn't there. Before their very eyes, the entire royal houses of Zogatha are about to consume each other in fire and blood. In our next episode, in our conclusion, we'll see what Arengol's master plan is. We'll see if John and Asena can catch up to them, and we'll find out the fate of the Spider Moon.
Thanks, Joe, and thanks everyone for being a part of this episode. And chat, we will see you next week on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Thank you so much for watching. Good night. And this case is closed.